Gruesome Magazine.
Hello once again, I'm your host Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. And tonight, we are looking at Funhouse, coming from Magnet, streaming now, or streaming soon, or when you're listening to this, it probably is streaming now. So let's introduce the crew, right? Shall we? Also joining me this week is the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in a house. I'm having fun, so I'm halfway there.
You are.
But Doc, you feel? Oh, you straightened out. I thought you were a little fuzzy-headed there at first.
Oh boy.
I went over my head, but that's okay. Also joining us,
your focus was out when you were.
Oh, was it? Well, everything looks out of focus to me. Also joining us this week is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm great. Wait. How does she do it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's Gigi. It's Gigi.
Yes.
She does this thing, and I wish she had done it even more throughout it because it was cracking me up. It cracked me up.
Needed to. But yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give our first impressions for Funhouse, and then we're gonna talk about it. We'll probably dive into spoilers. Kind of have to talk about this one, and then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But let's take a look. Yeah, let's take a look at what the film is. Break the internet or it breaks you. All right. I don't know where the I came in there before available, but we'll go with it. All right. Funhouse, available on demand and digital May 28th, 2021. Written and directed by Jason William Lee. The cast includes Valter, Skarsgard, Khamisa, Wilsher, Gigi, Saul, Guerrero, yay. Christopher Gerard, Karolina, Benefield. You know, I get about 3 names in, and that's about it. Amanda, Howells, Mathias, Retemal.
That sounds good.
Retemal?
Yeah. Retemal.
Okay. Yeah. Dayliegh Nelson and Jerome Velinsky. You know, if I didn't butcher a name each week, it wouldn't be me, right? All right. Synopsis is when 8 celebrities from around the globe are invited to compete in an online reality show, they soon realize that they are playing with their very lives, as those voted off suffer horrific consequences, broadcast live to the entire world. It's Big Brother, but you die if you get voted off. So that's what it is, right? Okay. I don't want to bury the lead here, but let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's find out what our first impressions were for this. And Crystal, you are up first.
Okay, so the movie was good, but it wasn't great. Mm-hmm. I was entertained, and there were some moments that I really, really enjoyed. Some deaths that I was really thrilled with, and then the rest of the movie was really flat. So I feel conflicted about the movie. I didn't mind the characters. They were kind of caricatures of people, but I guess that was kind of their personalities as celebrities or influencers or whatever it was. I kind of liked the story and the idea even. They have this wealthy, smart dude who is controlling them, and he's the mastermind behind it all. And I'm like, okay, I'll get behind this. He's bored. He's trying to do something to entertain himself. I feel like the acting was okay, and it was great by some people, and there were a few others that, nothing. None of them were bad though. They were just okay. So I think Gigi did great. She was hilarious. She was over the top, but I think that's the way her character was meant to be. I did like the lead, the Skarsgard brother, one of the million.
Valter.
I totally didn't know he was Skarsgard until I saw that.
Really? Until you saw the credits? You didn't recognize the features?
No, until I saw your thing earlier before we started watching them, before we got here today. Like, I saw yours, I was like, oh, he's a Skarsgard. Okay. Of course he is.
Of course he is.
That tall, slender, blonde, blue-eyed,
6'4", the little booger.
Yeah. That's them. But the gore was good. I enjoyed that. I wish that I could explain more why I did not feel like I resonated or felt or loved this movie. I guess it does have to be the performances or the characters that I didn't care about them. I didn't care whether they lived or died. And honestly, the way it ended, the way the movie completely wrapped up was okay. But I know it was supposed to be shocking, but it wasn't shocking, and it was kind of droll. Little banal. Little
a stinger without the stinger?
Yeah, and it just didn't do anything for me. I was like, okay, big deal. Like, I didn't mind the way that it was shot. It's a difficult one for me. I have literally thought about this for a week and a half, trying to figure out whether I liked this movie or I didn't like it. And I still am. I know I didn't hate it, but I know I didn't love it. And it's so odd for me to fall this oddly in the middle.
Yeah.
But I wish that I could explain why. I can usually tell you why I love something. Like I said, I love the gore, I love the deaths, I loved the idea and concept. I guess it's got to be the execution. It's got to be the characters. And I think it is wrapped up solely in the characters. Do I think something like this could ever happen in real life? Sure, why not? People are jerks, and I totally think the internet would think it was a farce and not really happening and would vote for it. So, conceptually it's okay. We're gonna work through it together.
We are gonna work through it together. We got the next 20 minutes to do so. All right, Jeff, you're up next. What was your first impression of Funhouse?
Yeah, so it's. I'm going to be kind of like Crystal, but I think I got a part of a reason why I didn't like it.
Okay.
It's very mean-spirited, I thought, and also that the rules change. They set this thing up and there's supposed rules, but the guy running the show breaks the rules. And, so once you do that, to me, it's sort of like, well, that's not cool. And he's got all these people on the internet. Everybody's watching him. And then there's a scene where I felt I don't think this gives anything away. There's a scene where he's being interviewed on television, the personality of who he is. Nobody knows who's actually doing this, right? And he says everything he says should have gave it away to everybody that he was the guy doing it. It seemed like.
Yeah,
now, I guess
that was on purpose, though. Yeah.
But anyway, I enjoyed seeing another Skarsgard. I think I'll be keeping an eye out for Valter. I can't think of anything I don't like that I've seen Alexander Stellan or Bill in. So keep an eye on Valter. Loved Gigi. She was excellent. And there are different characters that are there for different reasons that come off differently. In the end, I'm trying to remember each one of them. I felt like most of them reverted to a positive at some point.
Once it got going. At first, they never.
Once it got going, they got more into we're in this together kind of a thing. But anyway, the thing that rubbed me the wrong way was it was mean-spirited, and because the guy, and this might be giving too much away, but because the guy changes the rules, then
you don't know the stakes. You don't understand where.
Right, there's no real hope, right? I mean,
yeah, I will have to agree with you guys. Let's see if I can get in focus here. I wanted to like this, and it had the right. I mean, the concept was actually kind of intriguing. It's kind of like, like what Most Dangerous Game kind of slash, some kind of Agatha Christie thing. Yeah. Except that it's also Big Brother, and they're dying, and they can't, and people aren't, they're not getting that it's real. They think it's all entertainment, and that all makes a lot of sense. That's kind of our fear, but that society won't know the difference between entertainment and reality at some point, right? And so there's themes in there, but I think you guys are onto something. The film itself needs a little more style, in the lighting and the camera work. I mean,
maybe that's what it is.
It's not flawed, right? It's not like, oh, well, that wasn't bad. It's just standard, right? It's just
feels small.
Right, it does feel small. The set, of course, is very constrained. You feel the budget, unfortunately, but it just needed a little spark, a little finesse, a little something to to visually draw us in. And the characters at first, I didn't like anybody but Gigi at first. I thought, oh my God, and I started to grow to like them. And actually, one of the ones I liked the most is the one I hated the most at the beginning, which was Headstone. And I was like, oh God, really? And then by the time he has his own thing, I was like, oh no, it's like there's a romance angle that kind of falls a little on the side.
There's a few romance,
right? But the chemistry isn't very strong. Sorry to say,
doesn't feel real.
Yeah, it feels forced. But I think either the antagonists need to be a total mystery, right? Like Saul. When you first saw Saul, or we needed more motivation. We needed something a little more personal, right?
Well, also part of it too is I think that he is hypocritical in he's like, people are famous for doing nothing, and he's like, so he is a scientist, big freaking whoop. So that gives you cause to be famous. Then I just think that's. I think it's weak. I think he needed to be a better person, even more outwardly.
Yeah, because he was out against people that were famous for being famous, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, well, you're famous for nothing. So what? So what? I mean, for me, I feel like that's someone, if you're going to judge that, you better be Mother Teresa. Actually, even she's got some flaws there. I mean, I think they needed to show, they needed to show maybe him being a better person himself. So you could support, because you either need to rebel against what's happening or you need to support it. And quite frankly, I didn't care either way. And if you don't care, then, I just wanted the gore.
Yeah, it didn't strike a strong enough chord, right? And that's why I think that's what I was reaching for with the motivation. It needed something a little more meaty behind it, or it needed to be, what the hell, right? What is going on? What what's the mystery? What's the twist? And it wasn't either.
The panda thing is so creepy and weird. I really liked it. I mean, there were some things that were good. So he could have done some fun lighting with all this, because it's in this sort of weird game show world. If he had played with the color, if he had played with the color even and done more of that, it might have been better, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like you feel like. What am I trying to say? You're kind of like, oh damn, this could have been so much better than it is, but it's not a total bomb. It's not terrible. It's totally watchable. It's totally entertaining, but it just kind of leaves you a little flat.
Yeah.
Right, Jeff? Right? You feel a little flat?
Yes, flat. No, I mean, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I'm glad I watched it. And I wasn't like, I was in it the whole way. But maybe, at least for me, it's not necessarily the kind of movie I like. There needed to be, some of the characters became redeemable, but at the beginning, it's hard to tell, and the guy running the show, how would he do things? Maybe it's more realistic that he would actually like screw him over and change the rules. He's the one that has the control. I'm going to make sure, this is the way it's going to turn out no matter what, but I didn't like it. I would have really
I totally agree with you there. I think that's I think that's a big part of it, like what Jeff's, because I mean, as we watch it, it's I guess this is kind of a spoiler, a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, clearly it's all set up.
Well, it wants to be, right?
No, it is a setup.
Okay.
Well,
are you meaning a setup for another movie or a setup?
No.
Like
the whole thing is a setup.
Setup, yeah, okay, I got you. I misunderstood. I thought you meant it was a setup for something else.
No,
but yes,
it's all clearly. So that's a problem.
A little bit of a rug pulling out.
So,
right?
And then once again, it shows his character. Like he's not at all redeeming. So how dare he be judging these people? I get so bothered by that. I'm just like, because you don't have someone to root for. The main dude is supposed to be a good guy, and I get it. He's supposed to be like this little angel. He didn't do anything wrong. Even his ex-wife likes him. But maybe I didn't like the Skarsgard as much as I thought I did.
No.
Because I'm like, I think he did a good job in his role, but I didn't want to root for him.
But I don't think that was necessarily his fault. I don't think the characters were written.
You think the way it was written?
Yeah.
Well, they were, like I said, they were all written over the top. Look at Gigi's character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, that was really funny. But all of them were so over the top until they became more real when it got down to this whole life and death thing. They thought they were on like a Celebrity Big Brother thing, like you mentioned. So they're like, hey, and then
they were all playing their parts. They were all big and boisterous, like they, the personalities that they wanted to be. And then they slowly became the actual people they were. And that was interesting, but it didn't quite fulfill what it was after. I don't think. It's really okay. So behind the scenes, guys, here for those who are listening, it's really easy when you hate a film.
Yeah.
It's really easy when you love a film. Yeah. But when you feel indifferent, it's just like it's like it's hard. It's hard, yeah. So with that note, let's wrap this up and give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're still listening, we want to thank you. We hope you're appreciating not only this review, but others that we have on the site. If you want to help us out, it's really easy to do. Just hit the subscribe button or share with a friend. And that helps us great. You can hit the bell if you want to get notified, and we'd love to hear your comments. Tell us what we were missing in this film when you watch it. Just like, guys, did you fall asleep? Did you not catch this? And like,
Jeff, what are you going to say?
Why is she the only young one?
Oh, that was a good comment. Yes.
Wait, what? Me? Wait, what?
Yes, that was an interesting comment.
Someone said, why is she the only young one? Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh.
It was like 3 old guys in it.
Well, I think the person. I think we're the ones that should be sorry that there should be more young in it. I don't know.
No,
it's okay.
Just came out
totally okay.
That was a fun comment.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
We get some great comments. We really do get some great comments. All right. Anyway, let's get on to this. Our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. Crystal, you are up first.
Okay, so like I said, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. I'm going to actually give this a 3. I think it's totally acceptable as far as like its quality and everything. The sound is good. It's totally watchable. And some moments are actually really good. There's some excellent little gore parts in here. And oh God, there's a couple deaths that I really enjoyed. I'm going to go with my favorite scene is the acid bath. Of course.
Okay.
I mean, like, there's some good stuff, and so see, that's why it makes it a 3. It's got a little gore factor that gives it a bump up, and yeah.
No, the acid bath is a highlight. That's for sure. All right, look for that one. All right, Jeff, you are up next, sir. Your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene.
Well, I think it's worth a watch, and I'd actually like to hear what some of our, followers or listeners think about it. And I'm giving this a 3-2 because, like I said, I'm glad I watched it, and that's worth a 3 to me. And I think it's fairly well made. Could there have been, could they have dressed it up a little bit? Yeah, sure. I think the actors all did a good job. I mean, I never once was like, well, that, is out of whack. My favorite scene, I'm going to say, I got to take the final scene. Almost final scene. Well, the face-off.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay. He meant the,
The final scene in the house.
Yeah. Yes.
Not the stinger or coast. Okay. Got
right.
it.
Right.
All right. Well, that's fair enough. All right. For me, I'm equally torn because I like elements of it, but I didn't like it as a whole. It still was entertaining, so it's a win. And I always feel, really weird about when this is, the review, because I like to be either a little bit more passionate or a little bit more, cantankerous. But I was going to give it a 2.5. Because I thought it was. I mean, I literally thought it was right down the middle, right, straight down the middle. But if you lean toward, well, because it's right down the middle, it's either right down the middle and you don't want to watch it, or it's right down the middle and you do want to watch it, and so it's on the 2.7 side, 2.75 side of that. So take that for what it is.
That's good. Yeah. It's totally an enjoyable watch. I mean,
we'll call that a waffle. All right. I might be waffling a little bit. Anyway, my favorite scene is what should I choose? I'm trying to get his name real quick. Hang on. What is his name? Headstone.
I loved that. That almost made me look really sad.
Okay, so Headstone has, I think, the only redeeming arc in the whole movie. Yeah. And I don't know why. I mean, because the main two are the ones you want to have, but Headstone actually has it. And
I wanted him to make it. That's all I'm going to say. I was like, too. He has such heart. Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like him at first. I really don't. But anyway,
of course not. Yeah.
He there's your breaking the rules thing, because he breaks the rules.
Yes, exactly. And that's.
Yeah, but so it's up until that point that I like the scene.
Yeah.
Because I thought, okay.
Yeah.
Now, could have used, there's some choreography problems, but at the same time, it worked. So there you go. I'm going to stop right there. There you go. That's our review for Funhouse, which will be on demand and streaming VOD on the 28th of May. So check it out.
Yay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a Funhouse film that talk about.
Yay.
It's a fun house.
Yay!
It's a madhouse. It's a fun house.
No. It's a mad man, right?
Well, that was what we did on 80s.
Oh, okay. Whoosh.
It's a madman.
Whoosh.
It's a madman.
Okay.
I failed.
He's a madman.
Right. We're good. Everybody that stuck around just went.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.